On my latest tutorial, I showed you how to create a 3D model from an SVG. And I got this really good question from a user on Mastodon. Mauricio Teixeira said, since you mentioned you're accepting requests, how would I get an object with just the outlines and the background? I mean, I wanted the paths to be one color higher than the inside, which will be a different color. So what he's describing here is essentially a way to create a multicolor object, to print a multicolor model with a single extrusion printer. So the way we do that is we have different layer heights. So you see that I have here a background, a black background, and a golden top layer. You can see the change here. So in the middle of the print, at some point in the print, I make a filament change, and then I'm able to get these results. So essentially what we do is create different layer heights, and we can do that based on an SVG as well. And that's what I'm going to show you today, how to create a keychain like this. So this is the FreeCAD logo, and you can see that there are different layer heights to produce multicolor prints. And yeah, let's see how to do this. So the first thing you need to do is get a suitable SVG. And we're lucky because the FreeCAD logo is available on Wikipedia, so we can find it here, and then you can use the download link here and then get the full resolution. Then you download the full SVG. So we'll proceed with the same process that we did for the other tutorial, but this time we are going to work in steps. So we're gonna import the SVG first. So let's create a new file and then import. Remember to mark SVG as geometry and say yes when it talks about the DPI. Okay, so this is the full logo. We don't need the letters, we only want this portion. So I'm gonna delete what we don't need. I think this, yes, so you can delete that. And now we have here the logo. I also don't want this square, this rectangle here. So this is the actual logo, how you see it. And we're gonna work with those paths. So you have to think on a strategy of how the different layers will be designed, like the different heights. For this one specifically, I tried it before, so I had an idea in my mind already. In some cases, you need to create a path surrounding the object, maybe to create a background. In this case, we already have everything we need here, luckily for us. Let me hide everything. Yeah, so I will start with this one, and then I will add, no, actually, yes, this one. I will start with this one as a base, and then I will make the corner, and then the F is it path 3, and then the cog part for the last one. Okay, so let's start with this one then. Then go to the draft workbench, and then we can go use the draft to sketch feature, and you can use from here, from the menu bar, but depending on your resolution and your settings, maybe you don't see that button. You can also come here on modification and then draft to sketch. And now I already have this sketch here. We will need to create a part, a body actually. So let's create a new body, and then we'll move the sketch inside the body. So now we can pad the sketch, and in this case I want something like 4 millimeters. Around that should be fine. I can hide this one now. Okay, so next is the path one. Going to go the same process, draft workbench, select the path one, and then path to sketch, and move the sketch to the body. And now we're gonna pad it slightly higher. So let's do 5 millimeters. Go to the part design and then pad. This will be 5 millimeters. So then we have 1 millimeter higher. These two are actually both red, different tones of red, so I want to make them closer. And yes, this is done. Now let's go for let's do the F first, because then they connect together. Otherwise, if you do two parts that are separated, then you can get an error. So it's better to work parts that are connected. So let's do the F now. All right, draft and select the path already selected, and then draft to sketch again. Move the sketch to the body, and now we're gonna do 6, maybe 6 millimeters is enough. Let's go to part design and then 6 millimeters. Okay, and now just the last part of it is the cog path, the path 2 here. And this I want to be actually the first color that I will print, so it's gonna be lower. This is gonna be 2 millimeters. So let's go to draft and then to sketch and move to the body. Can hide this. So now we're gonna go part design again and pad, and I want 2 millimeters for this one. Okay, so here we have our model already in different layer heights. So you're gonna do first one color here, and then we change the filaments, and then these will be printed. I actually print these two parts the same color because I only have one red. And then last I'm gonna do a change here and then print the F in white. And to make this a keychain, of course, we need a little hole. So I'm gonna make one now. Here, select the face that you wanna create a sketch, then create a sketch. And then we can use the circle to somewhere around here. I think this is good enough. Then we'll see how it looks like in the slicer. So here we're gonna do a pocket, and you can use through all to make sure that it will cut everything. Okay, so here we have our FreeCAD logo keychain ready to print. Let's export this. Select everything, then export STL. Let's do here And now we're gonna go to Process Slicer and get the logo. Is huge, but don't worry, you can just resize it, that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna resize it to maybe 40%, so this should be good. And now depending on the software you use, it can already suggest the color change for you. This is a feature from Process Slicer that is available on Process Slicer. So you will notice here, Slicer Object FreeCAD logo looks like a logo or sign. Apply color change automatically. So you can click here and it will apply the color change. You can see it here. So the color changes are how we designed them to be, but these I don't want all these colors. This would be too many colors. I want only 3 colors, so I'm gonna remove actually these change here from green to other green. So I actually only want this change, and then this one I want to remove, and you just move it to the place where the change is, and then there is a little X here that you can remove. If you want to visualize it better, you can change the colors also. Here it's white, and then the actual first color is gonna be light blue, and this other color here is gonna be red. So kind of give you an idea of how it's gonna look like. And for extra smoothness, so you get the effects that I have in my keychain that I showed you. First, you can set up, so this is actually a very fast print here on a MK4. It's a 12-minute, 11-minute print, but to make it better, I'd recommend you to change the settings here. Go to Infill and select Enable Ironing. So you have an ironing. Surface ironing will make your top layers very smooth. It will take more time, like 3 times depending on the top surface, but it will have this smooth surface that works great for this type of keychains. So there you have your multicolor SVG to STL with FreeCAD. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have suggestions, requests, please leave in the comments. I love to see the comments and get ideas for new tutorials, so please feel free to suggest and ask. See you next time.